Samore Love Bugs, you have now tuned in to my Empire recap. Guys, be sure to subscribe if you have not yet done so, okay? Also, be sure to share this video wherever you like to share videos, all right? Okay, so, oh my goodness, this is just action-packed, you guys. Get your popcorn ready because I'm going to be talking for a little while. Just wanted to let y'all know. I was sitting down and I was just like, oh, yes! Like, literally, no lies, no jokes. That's exactly what I was doing. And then, when commercials were coming on, I was kind of tweeting like this. Just like this. Like, oh my gosh, I definitely had to make sure that I went ahead and was tweeting you guys as well. So anyways, let's go ahead and get into this recap. So we start off with Lucious. He was talking to Andre, and he doesn't really look too good. He looked like something was wrong with him. Like, his sweat was coming down his face, and I'm here sitting like, something's not right with him. Something's going on. So then he was talking to Cookie, but then all of a sudden he fell on the floor and he dead up hit his head. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is he going to have a concussion? What is going on? So then they rush him to the hospital, and all you can see was like just sweat pouring down his face. And it just so happened that it was because of that medicine that little crooked doctor gave him that made everything happen. Remember that doctor that was in the last episode? He gave him some medicine. They talking about the revolutionary medicine. No, it wasn't no revolutionary medicine. It was poison. The doctor that attended to him at the hospital said that his license was revoked. So he was pretty much like some bootleg wannabe Russian doctor. Yes. So moving on from that, they when they did ask for someone to take like a ride with him to the hospital, Anika, she was standing there and Cookie was standing there, but he chose to have Anika ride with him. I think because at that point, no one else knew what was really going on with him except for her. And they were probably going to mention that he had ALS. So I'm assuming that he kind of went with the safe choice that already knew what was going down with him. So while he was in the hospital, like sweating like a dog and everything, another thing that the doctor had mentioned, the doctor that attended to him, was also that everything was kind of accelerating. The things that were supposed to be happening to him later on in life were happening to him, or starting to happen to him now. And his liver functions were also, it was like his liver was starting to get early signs of damage as well. Because, you know, if you're putting some poison into your body, your liver still has to go ahead and filter it. Camilla, she's starting to get a little upset now. She don't like being like the sideline hoe, the sideline chick, or anything like that. She is mad. She's like, okay, I don't want to be your backstreet slut. I want to be out there. You have Tiana out there on Front Street. What's going on? What's up? You know, she don't want to be in the background anymore. She wants to be a star. She wants to shine bright. You know what I'm saying? And she's trying to find her way to get up there. I feel like she's going to manipulate him because she's older. She has more experience. So she definitely knows what she's doing. Hakeem bought her a chain. And I was like, yo, that is like mad high school. He bought her a name chain. She's like, you're trying to brand me, but you don't want me to be out there with you? Are you serious? And I'm like, I looked at him like, Hakeem, you gave her your name to put on her neck. What are you doing? And it was funny because when he was like, something about my bae, you my bae, she's like, what is a bae? Like, what the hell are you talking about? And it's funny because, you know, you don't always, when you're older, you don't know the lingo that the younger kids know all the time. Sometimes it's like they're talking and they're saying what they know, but you don't hang around with them, so you don't know what they're talking about. Like my sister, sometimes she said all kind of new words here and there. I'm like, what does that mean? Can you translate that for me real quick? Because I have no idea what you're saying. And then like after I start getting the hang of it, I'm like, okay, like fleek. I didn't know what the heck fleek was until after I asked her, like, what does that mean? And then she kind of told me. And then I started being able to actually use it. And she told me like the reason why everybody started saying it and stuff like that. Yeah. Lucious' assistant, she was trying to get to the elevator. But when she was trying to get it, it was stuck on like 17. So she called the head of security. I don't know his name is yet. The head of security, she's like, can you help me? Like, but she was kind of like flirting with him though. She's like, can you help me get the elevator down? And then when he comes and he does a little magic, he puts a little key into the hole and it opens up. there goes a little girl that was with Olivia. I think that's her name, right? Olivia, which is Jamal's ex, just there randomly by herself. I can't find my mommy. And nobody can find her. They were having people like try to call, try to get in contact with her. She is ghost. So I'm like, at least that shows it. Well, depending on what happens in the next few episodes, that kind of shows that she didn't just want money. Like maybe she wanted a better life for her child. That's what it's kind of seeming like to me. Maybe she felt like she couldn't really provide the best life. It's funny how fame brings out all these different types of people all around the world from the woodworks. You know what I'm saying? Isn't it crazy? As soon as he put out the store, all of a sudden you got a mystery girlfriend, you got a mystery wife, well, ex-girlfriend, you got a mystery wife and all these stuff. Another thing that happened to Jamal is that his boyfriend pretty much called it quits because he felt hurt by what he heard Jamal say when he was talking to Sway. He said that he didn't have any girlfriend in his life. I mean, technically he's right, but then it was wrong for him to kind of play that game, It's basically he don't want to talk about the person that he's with. And like I said in the last episode, the reason why I feel like he did that is because this guy doesn't really have much to offer, and it's not somebody that you can say does this, does that. He doesn't really elevate him. But, people tend to lose track of the people or forget the people that helped them to get up. They get rich and famous and they forget the people that were there when you started from the bottom. You know what I'm saying? When you started from the beginning, they don't forgot. And it's sad, but it's true. It's just the way that a lot of people are. It's very rare that like basketball players are still with the person that they were high school sweethearts with. They tend to get with the movie stars, Let's look at Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade. Just saying. Hakeem and Jamal, they were practicing, but at first their practicing wasn't going too well, but then Cookie kind of put them in their place and let them know that they doing this to get these investors to give them that money. They need that. And so they ended up having a real good intro to the performance. And Elle, she was supposed to go on stage following that. And she was sounding real good at practice and everything. She was sober. She looked clean and nice. When Anika saw her, she was just like, oh, wow, excuse me. But you could see the jealousy in her eyes. You can see it. And the next thing that happened is that she sat down to talk to Elle, who was a little nervous because she's about to get back on the stage and everything and do her thing. And when she's sitting down, she was drinking something. She looked away for a moment, and Anika slipped her something in her drink. Well, I think she walked away for a moment. Oh, she walked away to take a picture with a fan, and then Anika slipped something in her drink, which that just disgusted me. It just shows you how ruthless people can be and how much they want to be on top and how they're willing to do whatever it is, whatever it takes to be on top. So she pretty much, I guess she put some drugs or something into her cup or slipped her a Mickey. I don't know what she slipped her, but she slipped her something clear or some kind of liquid. Okay, and then she's in the bathroom just acting crazy. And I'm like, oh, people would take out their phones super quick. Maybe the only thing that stopped it from going viral was the fact that it was in the restroom. So Cookie's looking for her. Cookie finds her. She was about to take her on stage, but then she realized that she was tripping over her own doggone feet. So Cookie's just like, come on. She got so freaking mad. And I'm like, Cookie, don't get so mad, girl. It's not really her fault. Because she's trying to tell her. She's like, I feel weird, but I didn't take anything. I didn't do anything. But Cookie wasn't believing her because, you can't really trust somebody that used to be an addict. That's the sad but true part because, a lot of them, they lie. They'll deceive you in order to get those drugs. And that's just the sad truth of it all. So she couldn't go on stage anymore. Now they had to cancel her little part, which would, of course, have elevated Cookie's career a little bit because it would have been like, okay, she had a comeback and she did all this, not through the empire part of it, not with Anika. No, she did it with Miss Cookie Lyons. That's who she did it with. But unfortunately wasn't able to do that. But they did have the performance with Jamal and Hakeem, and that went so well. I loved how they had the little girls with the thing on their head and they was shaking their waist. I was like, yes, girl, get it. That was super cute to me. And they did a pretty darn good performance, and everyone was ecstatic. Then, after they finished performing, Mr. Lyons was supposed to come back out on stage and do his little closing speech, but all of a sudden, it's like he couldn't speak. At first, I personally thought that he like ate something and maybe he needed an EpiPen or something like that. It looked like his throat was closing up, but it was the contractions from, because you know, it can contract any part of your body from the ALS. So it's like it controls your whole nervous system, which is your muscles as well, and your movements and everything. So it was kind of giving him muscle spasms in his throat. So he couldn't really speak the way he wanted to speak. So he needed somebody to do the speech. And Andre really wanted to do it. He was ready, like, yo, Dad, I'll do it. And Anika wanted to do it as well because she's like, I wrote the speech for you. I'm ready for this. I'm prepared. I don't even need the freaking teleprompter. I did this. This is me right here. But he ended up choosing Cookie because he felt like Cookie had that drive. Cookie was part of the family. She's part of the empire. So she knows what it takes to give a good, real, authentic type of speech. So they were doing that, and she went on stage and she killed it, honey. She surely did. They had a really good speech, but before that, there was one part that Hakeem, he was talking to Lucious, which I kind of forgot about, and when they were talking, Jamal was telling him that his boyfriend left him, and he's like, yeah, I know. And he's like, one day you're going to meet somebody that's going to be able to support you in everything that you do. And, you know, I kind of just felt like, wow, that was an amazing moment right there where they had together, where he wasn't just looking at him as some, like, homosexual or anything like that. He was looking at him as a human being, as his child, as his son, actually able to give him some good advice. And he also revealed to us that they was actually had some type of marriage, like Jamal and Olivia had some type of scam marriage. I don't know, they didn't really go too in depth with it. But anyways, back to the whole speech thing that Cookie did. It was just wham. And Anika was just like, you know, she had this stuck up face like, I can't believe these people are actually clapping at this ghetto mess. What is she doing? You know, just super upset. So finally, after all that's done, and Anika is supposed to be going to Chicago. She goes, she's out. Lucious calls a family meeting. He has everybody sitting down, you know, the whole family sitting down, all the lions. And Rhonda. Oh yeah, Rhonda's a lion too, because she's married into the lion family. So all of them sitting down, and he tells them that he has ALS and that he's dying, and there is no cure for the disease that he has. And once he says that, Andre's like, we need the IPO. We need the IPO. And I was looking at him like, dude, are you freaking crazy? What's your problem? Hakeem jumped up, pissed off, like, are you crazy? Our father is dying and you're talking about an IPO? What? So, yeah. They was about to, like, fight, turn up and everything. But luckily, it all calmed down. And Rhonda was able to excuse herself and kind of get him out of there. And he's just like, he was flipping. Like, he was turning into the Andre from the bipolar side. Like, the other side of Andre. The one that talks to himself. He really, really needs to take his medicine. I'm going to need him to go ahead, take his medicine, because he's not going to survive through these tough times. How you going to be a CEO and run a company if you can't even run yourself, partner? So that means basically the person that's going to be really running it is going to be Rhonda, because she's the only one that got some sense. I mean, he's a smart man. Let's not get it wrong. But I feel like he kind of has too much, he can't take too much pressure. Otherwise, he might just crack. He might just fold. So she's basically going to be the front of the company, and he'll just kind of do the talking. Like, it's going to almost be like a repeat of what's going on with his dad, just in a different light. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not going to be able to really fully function without her assistance. And she's going to have to always make sure she keep an eye on him so he doesn't mess up any type of business. So Lucious just kind of talks to the boys and tells them that they will need to really just come together. They need to really just be brothers and quit all this foolishness that they got going on. So it looks like, they might be headed towards a better path now that they know, there's no secrets. Everything's all out there. And when Andre was home, he was like drenched, like no lie. He was sitting in the tub, in the shower, water dripping all over him and his clothes. And he's just like, he looks like he can't breathe. Like, it's almost like he was drowning himself. Rhonda had to come and like, what's going on? And literally slap some sense into him and try to get him back to like himself, because he was losing himself at that moment. And she's like, this is everything you work for. This is happening right now. So it's like, that's all that's embedded in his brain. And like my sister and her friend was saying, that's all he's thinking about is getting the win. You know what I'm saying? Getting the empire, becoming the CEO of the company. And that's it. Like, if it doesn't happen, it's like, we don't know what's going to happen next. It's going to be a crazy situation that goes down. You know what I'm saying? So once that happens, Cookie and Lucious, they kind of have a moment. They're talking. They're sipping on something, some cognac or some wine or champagne or something. It was just, they were sipping. They had some nice little glasses and everything. Yes. And they were just having a moment. And then they started kissing. I was like, oh, wait, what is going on here? I was like, oh my God. It's like, even though Lucious gets me so mad and he killed her family, it's just something about them together, that fire, that electricity. So then they just ended up going to the bedroom, which I saw coming. I saw it happen, and I was like, oh, child, it's about to get crazy. And they look like two little cublets, or two little bears, two little lions. They look like animals. They was like, oh, yes. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm watching Shades of Grey all over again. Oh my gosh. Part 2 with the black people. No, but for real though, it was wild. It was getting crazy. I was like, can we watch this on Fox 5? Okay, Empire, you taking this to a whole another level right here. It's almost too hot for TV, if you know what I'm saying. And then they was getting it on, getting their freak on. You could see the passion in their eyes. Like, that was some real good stuff. But then who comes back home? And I knew it was what happened. My heart was like this. And the anxiety was just kind of coming. And I'm like, oh man, she's going to come home. She's going to find them. Something going to happen. It's going to go down. But you know what she did? She did the silent killer. Like, you know what? I'm not even going to mess this up right now. I'm going to let it soak in. I'm going to look. Yeah, they doing it. Is his thing inside her thing? Yeah. Yeah, they really having sex. She's naked. Ooh, and she liking it too. You know what? I'm not even going to bust this up right now. I'm going to save this. I'm going to use this card. I'm going to get what I want. You know it. I'm going to use this card. This going to be the killer card right here. Yeah, so she got her plans. She know exactly what she's going to be doing. You could tell that she was literally, like, she was really hurt because she thought she had the upper hand. She didn't think that she was going to kind of win, if you know what I'm saying. Because she was doing all kind of little things to get her upset. You know, like calling her names, coming out like naked and showing a little body and saying, you know, I'm who you used to be years ago and stuff like that. Just little jabs here and there. But, yes, she got the biggest jab of them all. She showed you, regardless of anything, don't forget who was number one, honey. Don't forget. That's exactly what Cookie Lyons was showing us tonight. Ha ha! Yes. Alright, guys. Oh my gosh. I can't wait for the next episode. But then I'm like, oh, it's only 4 episodes left. Once it's over, I'm gonna be like I'm gonna be having like withdrawal symptoms. I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I want our brains to go back. Please go back soon, ASAP. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know who's your favorite character of this freaking whole entire thing down below. Who do you like the most? Who do you like the least? Okay. My favorite character, of course, as you guys probably already know, is Miss Cookie Lyons. She's just it right now for me. And I have like an up and down relationship with Lucious. It's like sometimes I like him, sometimes I don't. I don't really like Anika. Like, I just feel like especially after seeing her tonight and doing that, I knew there was a reason why I didn't like her, but I didn't know what the reason was. But now I know. Yeah, now I know. All right. Stay fabulous, live free, and soar limitless. I'll see you in the next one. Laters.